Welcome, everybody, to Running Strong Mind Body Connection podcast. I'm your host, Karen Bonnett-Natraj, and I'm super excited to have you join us today on this podcast. So, just to give an insight, this podcast was born from my deep belief that true strength comes from mind and body, and how that works together in flow, not in fight, not in stress. So each week, I explore what it really means to live and lead from the inside out with powerful tools to help you shift from that self-sabotage to self-love, from anxious to awesome, and from stress to success. You're going to hear some amazing stories, inspiring stories from experts. You're going to learn practical wisdoms from incredible guests, from runners, coaches, nutritionists, healers, and everyday warriors, all sharing their journeys, their challenges, resilience, and breakthrough. So, whether you're chasing a finish line, healing from burnout, or just want to feel more connected in your body and mind, this is your place, your space to grow, laugh, learn, and run strong in every area of your life. If this message resonates with you, I would love to have you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel, Running Strong Mind Body Connection. Go there, subscribe, like, make comments, and any suggestions that you have. So if you are someone you know or someone who has a story, please send them my way. I'd love to connect with them. And let's build this community of strength, connection, and transformation. So today, let's dive in, and I am so excited to have my guest today, Danielle Forsgren. And Daniela, welcome to Running Strong Mind Body Connection podcast. So happy to have you here. So excited.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. I love your vibe. I love what you just said. It's very inspiring. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. So Danella, would you share about yourself? And so my guests know who you are, and let's
Sure.
explore your amazing stuff that you do in life and and that you can
I'm a
share with
woman
us.
of many things. I'm actually fourth generation theater. I was a professional at the age of 5 in musical theater. I started a journey of studying opera at age 11.
Wow.
Um, I won a Met Audition Award when I was 19 years old, which was very extraordinary. And then I traveled the world entertaining, singing. I was a guest entertainer on cruise ships for a while. In the theater I'm based in San Diego because it's the most beautiful spot on the planet as far as I'm concerned, and I've seen a lot of great spots, but we have the perfect weather, and so my base has always been San Diego. I did a lot of theater for 5 decades. I taught voice as part of that because I was never a person who, because of being in the theater, you don't really want to have a 9 to 5 job. So you create your own. If you're smart enough and savvy enough and tenacious enough to create your own work. So yes, I was 2 decades of a voice instructor. My mother was, and then I married a gentleman who's a very, very clever, smart engineer brain. And he came up with a medical device to help my older sister. And after decades of being in the theater, I jumped into a completely new realm of medical device world, which was, oh my God, I'm not even an office person. What am I doing sitting in an office, right?
Right.
So there's that. So now I'm president and co-founder of Avisen Medical. And in between that, for my right brain, because I'm a very creative person, right?
Right.
I made jewelry during COVID just to keep my sanity. And then I wrote a children's book.
Nice.
So there's a saying that Madonna says that every 10 years she reinvents herself. So I kind of feel like I've taken that mantra on. And so currently I'm Mrs. Avison, running an amazing company that helps people every day.
Nice. What a journey. And how many people, I'm sitting here in awe. At 5 years old, you're a singer, you're an opera, you travel the world, you've been everywhere. And then that shift going into now having your own business in a completely different realm. And a lot of what I talk about too is people's potential. And sometimes we go down this avenue that our parents bring us down, or we
Mm,
find in life that's just like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. But really, what
right,
is my potential? What's my purpose? And the passion in your voice of talking about what we're going to explore a little bit of what you and your company do. But it's just amazing. And I really stress people to, kind of look at our lives and see if really are you happy in that? Are you satisfied in that? Is that really diving into your potential? Because for me, it was down that finance world, and I had to work on building my creative brain again, which I had when I was a kid. And so we balance that out. And
right.
so what an amazing journey you've been on. And thank you for sharing
It's
that
been
with
very
us.
interesting, and I forgot. Well, in between that, I had a company called Scrapbook Diva when scrapbooking was huge.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I inspired women to put on a tiara and feel good about themselves, even if they're doing
Nice.
scrapbooking or housework or picking up the kids from school and they weren't having a great day. Put your tiara on. And my thing was have a diva day and dare to be bold, different, and always kind. So that is my diva
Nice.
mantra. And the whole diva thing came from singing because a diva in singing is not somebody who is a pain in the butt like they've turned it into. It's actually a singer who of a certain quality is a diva. So when you make it to a certain level, right? So and then I had a podcast like you do. I had a podcast for 9 years and I was in 128 countries weekly. And it was a lot of fun. And I'm going to get ready to relaunch that again under a completely different name and can't wait to have you on as a guest. So,
Nice.
but talking about when you said about your parents and sometimes they're not supportive, I think the thing that was different about my parents is my parents never said, "Oh, you can't do that." My parents went, "Okay, let's do it. Let's try it." And yeah, I might fall down or it might not work out, but then you get up and you brush yourself off. And they were the first ones to drive me to places and pick me up at places and support. So I never had that, thank God, growing up, because I don't think I'd be the person that I am now if I didn't have those supportive parents.
Sure. That's how amazing, because there's so many parents out there that say, no, 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 we can't do that. We can't do that. And that's where our
Or
inner
you
critics
can't do
come
that. Oh,
from.
you can't do that.
Oh
You
yeah, that's
can't.
not good.
That's
You're
the
not that
worst thing
smart
you
to
can
do
say to a
that.
child. You can't
I
do that.
know. I
Oh my
know.
gosh. Yeah. No.
What a
Mm-mm.
gift. I have a podcast, a few sessions, quite a few sessions before this, and he talked about our voice and having that voice. And I really love your message on the diva and putting on your tiara, because so many women give up their life for their family, for their career, for their kids. It's not really giving up your life, but you're living a life that's really not,
You put it on hold, right?
yes,
Like
it's not
you're
speaking
not
to
the first person,
you.
you're the last person.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
I catch myself still doing that. About a month ago, I ended up on the couch with sciatic nerve pain because I
Ouch.
wasn't paying attention to what was going on with me.
Hmm.
And sciatic is all emotional, right? The first thing I did was buy all of Louise Hay's books and read them all over again. I read them in the 80s. I read them all again and went, okay, looked up what sciatic meant. And I'm like, okay. And the universe has a way of if you're not going to take care of yourself, they'll get your attention and you will take care of yourself at some point. So,
Exactly.
4 weeks of laying on the couch, not being able to stand or hardly walk, I'm like, this is crazy. Oh, and doing my business from the couch, laying sideways because I couldn't sit up. It was crazy. Whoops, just lost myself. So yeah, it was nuts. So that was an eye opener. Like, you're not done with yourself yet. You need a little bit of more work to do on yourself.
So what did you do?
Um, I read those books. A dear friend of mine, Dr. Fab Mancini, just came out with a new book. I read that in 2 nights. And I just decided to prioritize myself and my health first because I was taking care of the husband, everybody else, right? So I decided if I can't take care of me, who the hell's going to do it? Nobody.
Right,
So I just
right.
kind of did a little bit of a mind shift and me first, which is difficult for me because I am not that person. I will help everybody before I help myself. So
Yeah. And
It
you know,
wasn't, it's
it
not
even
easy.
it's not easy. It's paying attention, and this applies to everybody. But I think women more because we're more the caregivers. We're more the
Yes,
want to keep
absolutely.
everybody along that line and keep everything organized and keep everything perfect and keep it all together.
Everyone
And
happy. Everyone has to be happy. Well, you know what? Sometimes they
I
don't
know,
have to
right?
keep everyone happy. They have to figure it out for themselves.
Right. Well, happiness doesn't come from when I went through that. That's where my transition happened was in trying to make this other person happy. We
Yeah,
cannot make anybody else happy until you choose in your own self to be happy. But you also have to
exactly.
choose yourself. I believe that too. I believe I choose me. And in my own transformation was me choosing me and saying, hey, if I can put all my energy into that other person, why can't I put it into me?
Give
And
yourself a little bit of grace too, right?
right, right.
I think we're very difficult on ourselves. And I
Yeah,
think that we have to be a little bit, give ourselves a break, give ourselves some grace.
right. And it's not the other thing I think people think is that, well, that's being selfish.
Yes. Yeah. No, we're not being selfish. And I
No,
used
we're
to think
not.
that.
Right.
I would say, oh my God, that person's so selfish. And I'm thinking, no, maybe I need to change my thought pattern a little bit. And maybe I
Hmm.
need to be a little bit selfish, which can be a
Self-love.
little bit shocking for the rest of the family members in the household.
Right.
Because all of a sudden
Exactly.
you're like, no. And they're like, what? No, I'm
What do you
no.
mean you said no?
Yeah, I can't, I'm sorry, I can't do that right. What? Yeah.
Well, that's your way also of teaching them that, you know what, I'm okay. I matter first.
Yes.
And people in our lives will change because we're changing.
Yes.
And it's going to be for the better because they're going to see they get used to we train these people to be dependent upon us. We train these people to yeah, dependent upon us. And it's the ability that now, okay, I'm going to train you now. You can be independent too. And what
Yeah.
I love in the relationship that I have, we are both independent people, but that independence comes together in a union of the relationship.
Right. And the
Yeah,
understanding and the communication, right?
right. Exactly. So
Yeah.
awesome. So tell me, share with us what it is your company does.
Certainly. We have a company called Avisen Medical, Avacen Medical. It started about 17 half years ago. My older sister had 25 years of chronic migraines. And my husband was working with some scientists at Stanford on thermoregulation, like and cooling the body. And she was suffering with 20 to 25 migraines a month, which means she basically lived in a dark room with no life and on a lot
Right.
of medications and suffering and not eating and not being able to have, I mean, it was horrific. And she had a lot of other issues. And so being the good sister I am, I'm the middle child. And so I'm the fixer. And so I was trying to find different things for her. And her husband was Western medical. He was a cancer radiologist. And so he wouldn't do the acupuncture or the chiro or the vitamins, even. I mean, because,
Hmm.
so I was continually trying to find something to help her. And Tom was working with Stanford, and they had this device that would help cool the body. So for you as a runner, you would finish your run and then come and do this device, and it would cool you down internally. So and very effectively. So Tom was, I call him Dr. Google. He's not a doctor, but I call him Dr. Google because he's continually Googling things. Now he's all about Chat GPT. So now he's Dr. Chat. So because he thought was, what does Chat GPT say? And I'm like, okay, okay. So I'm like, just put your phone down and find out later. So he was Googling, and there was a doctor in Florida who was treating his female patients with T3, T4 hormones, injecting them in the carotid, which is very dangerous. And the ones who were migraine auras, like migraine sufferers, by raising their body core temperature just a little bit, they weren't getting migraines anymore. So his brain went, aha, I'm going to ask them if they'll make me a device that warms the blood. So it's very unique. So through the palm of the hand, you have something called AVAs, arteriovenous anastomosis. They're your body's radiators. You have them on your hands and your feet. So, right now it's summer and it's hot and it gets warm when you're sleeping and you put your foot out to cool down. That's your basic thermoregulation in your body trying to cool yourself down. So I have a device right here. This is our generation 2. So it looks kind of like a bread box. So you put a mitt on, you put your hand in on a dry heat pad, and we enclose you in a vacuum. And when we enclose you in a vacuum, it opens these AVAs. So, your body's really, really, really smart. It's like a computer. So this has 4,000 firmware instructions in it. Your body's a computer, and it really wants you to be healthy and heal. But, we don't always do the things we're supposed to do to heal. So you put your hand on this, we enclose you in a vacuum, we infuse the dry heat, and in about 10 minutes, we thin out the blood by less than a degree. And when we do that, like 1%, less than 1%, your hypothalamus kicks in and goes, oh, this feels really good. I haven't felt like this since you were 20. So now it's going to, because your blood's a little bit thinner, you're going to have better circulation. So better oxygen and nutrient delivery. But the key is we deliver this through the microcirculation, which is 100,000 miles of capillaries head to toe, even through your blood-brain barrier. So wherever you have blood, we are pushing that blood and delivering the blood where it needs to go, from your head to your pinky, to your little toes. And that's what we do it. And we do it very effectively. We've had over 30 million treatments and not one adverse event reported. So a 2-year-old can use it, a 102-year-old can use it. I mean, you're an incredible runner. You could put your hand in this, do 20 minutes to warm up every muscle in your body without burning 1 calorie. And then you could go out and run your marathon, come back and do a treatment, and it would help you repair really, really fast. That's what we do.
So people are going to go, well, what if I want to lose weight? I want to burn a calorie. On my mind.
It doesn't have
I'm just
to be weight,
kidding.
but I know, but it's like, if it did, I'd be a size 2, and I'm not a size 2. So, but I'll tell you what it does do for type 2 diabetes sufferers. It helps their sugars lower after their main meal. So we can actually get them off eventually their drugs. And it's like simulating an internal 45-minute walk. So think of us like acupuncture without the needles, moving everything around.
So to add to this, I have a mentor who does talk about our cells and the micros. And I mean, the depths of our cell, that's where our healing comes from.
Absolutely.
And that's where we are all connected, because we are basically a trillion billion cells in our body that we're not even aware of. I mean, you don't feel this stuff.
No, you don't.
And so it's changing the frequency of our metabolism, I will say, to ignite this healing. A lot of that too, with the training that I do with the mind-body connection, with the mental fitness, is changing our thoughts about that. When we change the energy of our brain, you're changing the frequency, and then you're just adding to that to stimulate more of what the body can do to heal itself.
Oxygen, nutrients. You use this twice a day as our protocol, and eventually we get rid of the inflammation. Inflammation is the cause of disease, right?
Right.
When things are like stagnant and like a swamp in your blood, that's when the nasty stuff grows. Right. And we're actually FDA cleared. So we went through this whole process because we knew we weren't a gadget. We knew we were a medical device. So we took 6 years to go through this FDA process. And it was lengthy, expensive, and we bootstrapped the whole thing because we were just 2 people with a couple of investors and some doctors that said, you know what, we believe in this.
A lot of powerful things have come about in that. And I love the idea that it's also stepping away from being dependent on drugs and drugs. It's
interesting because I watched my sister be turned into a drug seeker. I mean, ended up being on so much fentanyl patches, and then they took a morphine box, implanted it in her stomach. She got septic, and she almost died. And then they took that out. That was 3 weeks in the hospital, and then they put copper wires in her back, and that frickin' didn't work. So I watched this poor girl who was the most amazing athlete when she was younger just deteriorate. And and I just couldn't stand it because I'm so opposite that. I'm more of an Eastern kind of girl. Now, Western medicine is good for what it's good for, but we don't need to be handing out pills like frickin' trick or treat candy, right?
Right,
Um,
right.
and the FDA is important because then anything could be given to people. So within boundaries, all of these work really well. But I think we learned during COVID when we couldn't see a doctor, we couldn't see that we need to take our own health back and do self-health care and be smart about this because no one's going to tell you that there's formaldehyde in diet sodas unless you read about it. No one's going to tell you that you better drink that water because it's important and it better be good water. You have to get up and move. And so, it's a journey. It is a journey. And I want to be the girl who's 99 years old, running around Tuscany, eating good food and drinking Prosecco, instead of the woman 99 years old sitting in a corner in assisted living, not knowing who the hell she is. And with this
Right.
device, I'm going to accomplish that. And I know that for a fact, for
So
sure.
to counter that, I want to be that 99-year-old woman who's still running, walking,
There you
even
go.
if I have to use a little support to keep me upright, but that's not going to happen. But I, I have that dream that, I can still be 100 and something and still be running.
I think
We
we
can
all
do
have
it.
the
Now, it
capacity
may
now.
not be 100 miles, but it would be
Right.
still,
But you might run 5 or 10 at 100, and why not?
and why not?
Why
Why
not?
not?
As long as you're
And
getting up and moving, that's what
yeah,
it's important.
yeah.
Motion, you can't sit sedentary. That's what I'm finding out. Get up and move and do the right, and eat the right foods if you can, and drink that water and hydrate. And, you know, it's really, really interesting, this journey I've watched so many people go through. And
Well, even
when
our own experiences, I want to say for myself, when I started running 100 miles, and it may have been when I decided, let me see if I can do a back-to-back 100. I knew these two particular
God
races
bless you, man.
that was at the end of October, and the next one was at the beginning of November. And the first time I tried it, it was like, oh my gosh, I feel great. It's the power of the body that wants to heal. The body wants to
Absolutely.
survive. The
Yes, it
power, the
does.
body wants to keep going. The body wants to survive and stay healthy and whatnot. And I've seen so many people. I mean, even with your sister, even with my sister, my dad, who was a 24-hour alcoholic, the body still will strive to heal, try
No,
to survive.
it is an amazing organism, right?
Yes,
We're like a walking computer, and we just have to be a little bit kinder to it, and then
right,
we won't have all of these issues. And it's extraordinary how the body works and
right,
the mind. And one of the other things that we do, because one of our FDA clearances is overall muscular relaxation, so we help put you in the parasympathetic, which is rest, restore, relax, instead of getting you out of the sympathetic, which is fight or flight. So if your viewers don't know, we're all living in fight or flight 24/7 because we have this
right,
and we
right,
can't put it down, right?
right.
So if we could just put that down, put our hand in the Avisen and do deep breathing or meditation or any kind, or just even listening to good music, it's a game changer. So like 1,000 years ago, we had two fight or flight events a day.
Right,
We were
exactly.
either going to be food or we were looking for food, hunting for
Right.
food. That was it.
That,
Now they're saying we have like 100 fight or flight issues in 24 hours. And then I see these toddlers everywhere with phones in their hands, and I'm like, oh my gosh, look what they're doing. They're starting them, and everyone's like this. I see people, 4 people, a family of 4, sitting at a table for dinner. I was at
oh,
Disneyland a couple
everybody on
years
their
ago.
phone. Yeah.
I'm sitting next to a family of 4, and they're all like this, and not one conversation. And I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah.
look at that. How sad. What a missed opportunity. They just spent the day at Disneyland and they have nothing to say to each other
Right.
because they can't get
Right.
their heads out of their phone.
Yeah. And it's from what I teach in the mental fitness at the boot camp that I have is a practice. It's shifting from that fight and flight. The brain
Yeah.
doesn't know that you're not chasing that tiger or you're running away from something. The brain has no idea except it's in fight mode 24/7.
Right.
It's in that fear-based mode. And the body doesn't go through the running and the scared part and then calm down afterwards. The body keeps up that energy to keep that fear base going. And unless you stop it by changing your thought process, by understanding how you're sabotaging yourself and shifting into that peace and calm, your brain will continually be there. And the beautiful thing is, and you've read Louise Hayes, and there's
Yeah.
Dr. Joe Dispenza and
Oh,
the
absolutely. All of them.
neurosciences, all of those people prove that we can rewire our brain. And I know growing up, there was that myth of our brain shrinks as we get older. That's not true. That is not true. We can rewire our brain, grow
Yes.
new brain cells, new neural pathways in our brain. Now, I'm not a scientist, but I have studied
Well,
all
neither
this
am I.
stuff.
I'm a singer.
I'm just a simple
I
human
am
being.
not Dr. Avison. I am an entertainer who
Yeah.
just learned,
But it's
but yeah,
the message we want to tell. I mean, people can still, the world's still going to happen. It's but what's happening inside of you
it's what
that's
we
making
do
you,
to react. It's
yeah,
reactionary, right? So we
yeah,
can choose to turn off that TV and sit to listen to music or read a good book or go out for a walk or walk on the beach or just take the dog for a walk. We can choose to do that, or we can choose to freak out on everything we watch on television or
right.
whatever is going on in the news. I'm not watching a lot of news, and Saturday I went to Disneyland for my birthday. So there you go.
Happy
Thank
birthday.
you. And I'm going to be 66. So there's an interesting component about the Avicen. It literally helps your skin. So because if we're giving your whole body oxygen, we're also giving your skin nutrients and oxygen and collagen. So
Yep.
I use my device at least 2 hours a day, and I split it up into increments.
So what's the recommended length of time to
Our
be on
recommended
it?
protocol is twice a day, morning and night. So I'll
For
do the
how
melatonin
long?
morning, 20 to 30 minutes in the morning to open up the lymphatic, get things going. And then at night, sorry, excuse me. That is our, Gigi Marie. Hey, sorry. That is, our chief relaxation officer. Hold on, please. Come here. No, come here. I guess she is a puppy.
Sorry, you guys, but this
Sorry,
is a
everybody.
live
Sorry about that.
podcast.
Hey, no, as
Is
she's
this an
wagging
animal?
her tail.
Is this an
I'm going to
animal?
let you see what she looks like. There she is.
Your chief operating officer?
Chief Relaxation Officer.
I have my CEO, my cat laying behind here, and then the
Yeah,
COO is sleeping over
yes,
here down at the bottom.
yes. She's a little girl with a big bark. Sorry, everybody. No. And
So
she
you
always
guys, I
said,
mean, this is I mean, that's the power of pets. Pets are unconditional. If you look at your animals, the dogs especially, they come and greet you at the door. They're super happy to see you.
oh,
My
they're the
cat,
best. They're
my
the
cat
best.
went through a doctor appointment here in our bathroom. My neighbor next door is a vet, and she did some uncomfortable, and he was screaming to the top of his lungs, and his
Oh,
brother's over
bless.
here.
Look at her.
But then 2 seconds later, the cat is not judging us.
No,
We're not in the judge mode. The cat is checking out her bag,
yes.
happy as can be, but it's just so hilarious how we would hold on to that.
Yeah.
That's the fight or flight. We
So
don't need to have that in our world.
for 30 something years, we just had cats. And then a couple years ago, after my older sister passed, a
Oh,
year, I know. Um,
yeah.
so the anniversary of her passing 1 year, this little thing came into our lives, and I said, I want her. And it took me about 10 minutes to talk my husband into it, Tom. And it's the best thing we've ever done. Best thing we've ever done.
Nice.
And he'll still say, we have a dog. And I'm like, I know we have a dog. And isn't she fantastic? Because she greets you with a toy in her mouth. She'll pick out a certain toy. Like, this is crazy. This is how smart I think dogs are. So yesterday I was watching a little bit of Wednesday on Netflix. Okay. So I have my sister bought her a more little Morticia doll. And so I came back from the store. Tom said she went to her toy box and rummaged through the toy box, picked out the Morticia, and that's what she brought me. I'm like, I don't even know what to say about that. Did she figure it? I don't even know. Go
Yeah,
figure that one out. It just blew my
yeah,
mind how smart they
yeah.
are.
They
Really
are
smart.
smart. My one cat had I buy them these little mice,
Oh,
and
yes.
he had chewed it all the way down to the hard body of it. It had no.
Oh, yeah.
My husband threw it away. The cat dug deep into the trash can
Oh,
and
yes.
found it and brought it back out.
Yep. Because they know they like what they like,
They like what they do. I know.
and they're going to let you know one way or the other.
But that's how we should treat ourselves, right? We should treat ourselves with
Yes.
unconditional love and
Yes.
unconditional peace and calm. And when we can
And
truly love
joy.
ourselves, is that when that world will open up for us too. When we're stuck in that fight or flight and that anxiety and that, and what I call also the amygdala hijack,
Yes.
there's no good in it.
No. No. So we just have to learn to be a little bit kind to ourselves, and then we can be kind to others.
Right. All right. So how your company is located in San Diego, and where are you
We
in
are in
stores?
Carlsbad, California, and
Carlsbad.
we
Well, darn it, girl. I was down there in June.
what?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
well,
Carlsbad is a
next time we come
beautiful
down, you
place.
come and we'll have lunch.
I will for sure.
And we have an 8,000 square foot where we actually manufacture in the US. We manufacture here.
Nice. So you're doing it in your home. So how big is your company right now?
Well, we have 10 employees, and
Nice.
three of them are technicians. And we have an epic team. We have a team that really cares about people, and that I think is the key. Is
Yep.
and I like to keep everybody happy. So it's today is Friday, so I'll probably go down to Costco and get everybody Sundays, because it's Sunday, I say Sunday fun day, and everybody gets excited. And so I'll probably do that this afternoon. Just, it's
Fun.
summer and it's kind of fun. And we work really hard because we're a small company. So we all wear a lot of hats
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
keep it going.
Well, you give a great gift to everybody, especially runners. And we are always into injuries and healing
Yes,
ourselves and
we can
whatnot.
help
So,
repair those and keep you out of injury, I think is the
yeah.
most important thing.
Hmm. So thank you, Danelle. It was just
We talked
awesome to
about a
have.
lot of stuff, didn't
I
we?
know.
So we can continue this when I fire up my podcast. I can't wait to have you on, and I
Oh,
can't
that'd be
wait
awesome. I
all
will,
about everything and your journey, because we talked about it a little bit, your
yeah,
journey and the whole mind, body, spirit thing, which is so important.
it is important. Uh, and it is important, and I can't stress it even more of how much our brain, because that's the ability of being human. We are logical beings and we have emotions and on and on and on, and we express all that. But then pay attention to how it's impacting your body. And good on you for saying, hey, it's me. It's time for me to heal me, and I don't need to be laying on
Oh,
this couch.
listen,
And
I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a choice as I'm laying on the ground for 6 hours before I went to the ER. And I'm like,
ouch.
I have no idea what just happened, but it hit me. And I'm like, okay, I'm listening now.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to pay attention to those little things before it gets to that point.
Right. And that's being in tune with ourselves. And so everybody pay attention to your
Absolutely.
bodies, pay attention to what you're feeling, and catch it before it happens, because it's going to kick you in the butt, because the body's going to say, hey, you didn't listen to me. This is what's going to happen.
Mhm.
So pay attention, because it is. It's a mind body connection, and keep ourselves healthy.
Listen to what's happening.
Exactly. Danelle, thank you so
Karen,
much. I
so
loved having
fun.
you. I love this conversation, and I really appreciate you. So I
Thanks.
would love you guys will post your. Do you want your website or?
Absolutely. Avisen.com.
Yeah, well, I'll post that in the YouTube
Avisen.com.
channel and in the notes. And please, people, subscribe. And thank you so much.
Thank you.